Belli, how are you? Come va? Yesterday I found this terracotta pan, and this one reminds me something that my grandma used to use to make a local recipe called Taieddhra. Taieddhra in Lecce, Tiella in Bari and in Taranto. What I'm talking about? It is a great local dish made with potatoes, mussels and rice. It is delicious. Shall we make it together? Andiamo! I didn't tell you about the name of this recipe that comes from the pan in terracotta called Tiella. So what we need? More or less 600 grams of yellow potatoes into tiny slices, more or less 4 millimeters. Then I bought 1 kilo of mussels, and after the cleaning process that I'm gonna show you, we have more or less 45 mussels here, you see the balls. 250 grams of Italian rice, this is arborio. You need a rice with big grain. And my grandfather was obsessed with this process. You need to wash it a little bit in order to make sure the rice loses some starch. He was from Bari, he used to say, I'm gonna get a mappazzone, too gluey, so you need to wash it. Then you have 10 tomatoes cut into pieces, 1 garlic cloves finely chopped, then you have roughly chopped parsley, half a white onion cut into slices, 5 tablespoons of pecorino cheese, more or less 8 tablespoons of Parmigiano cheese, a little bit of salt, not too much, because you also have the filtered water of the mussel that is here. You filter several times in order to make sure it's nice and clean, and this is one of the secrets for a great taieddhra or tiella. Then you need extra virgin olive oil from Puglia and black pepper, okay? And then something else that is not strictly necessary, but is linked with the history of my family. I'm talking about la zucchina, the courgette. My grandfather, Giovanni, aka Juan from Bari, 150 kilometers north of Lecce, and my grandma, Bianca, aka Biang from Lecce, they got married. Now, in Bari, they don't use the courgette. In Lecce, it depends on the family, they use it. So I remember I was a child in this room, and my grandfather used to scream from the other room to my grandma, Biang, e non ce la mettere la zucchina. Bianca, do not put the courgette inside. While my grandma, of course, she was cutting the courgette. She used to say, sì, non ti preoccupare. Yeah, no worries at all. Of course she put it. And the answer of my grandma that didn't care was Italian families. So you see that it's not perfectly clean. So you will start to scratch with a knife. Then after that, open a little bit, wash it, and then you start to make nice and shining. Then what you do, you press the 2 valves. You can hear like click, okay? Then once you do that, you put the knife inside and you follow the shape or the edge of the mussel itself. Remember to have the bowl under your hand in order to collect the water. Here we go, now it's open. Look, can you see? With the knife, make sure you take all the pulp of the cozza. This one goes in the trash, and this one you save it apart, and you carry on for each one. Because the operation can be a little bit tedious, my suggestion is have a beer, have a glass of wine, for example, a beautiful Vino Spumante Dry Mela Rosa, beautiful rosé from Cantine Due Palme. Then, directly from your cell phone, you put some music. So I rinse the potatoes, and now I start with the layers. First of all, the extra virgin olive oil. You see here, I put the onions and I also press the tomatoes once I put them. And now I'm gonna do a bed of potatoes, and then I'm gonna season it with salt and pepper. I think my grandfather is now revolving himself in the paradise. I'm sorry, Grandpa, because in order to honor Grandma, I put the courgette. He's not very happy. Now I'm going to carry on with some extra tomatoes and the cheese. 2 spoons of Parmigiano and 1 spoon of pecorino. I carry on with some extra virgin olive oil and of course parsley. And now the mussels. And now it is time to put the garlic. Put some parsley. A little bit of pepper. Another spoon of parmigiano. You can do 2 actually. And then I'm going to do a spoon of pecorino. Now, on top of the mussels, 3 tablespoons of beautiful extra virgin olive oil. And now the rice. Take the rice with your hand and put this way. I'm just dividing the tomatoes with my hand in order to cover everything. And now the rest of the onions here. Half of the parsley here, as you see. Definitely a little bit of pepper. A pinch of salt. A good tablespoon of parmigiano. 1.5. And pecorino. And we don't have to forget extra virgin olive oil, okay? Here we need at least 3 tablespoons. See? And now the last layer made with potatoes. The potatoes will be the lid of this pan and they will preserve all the flavor, okay? After the tomatoes, I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper, the cheese now, and the parsley. The cheese is important because it's gonna make a crust at the very top. Remember to mix the 2 cheese together in order to have a very nice flavor. Don't forget to add also the parsley for a nice green color at the very top. And now the extra virgin olive oil, guys, you need a lot. It means at least 5 tablespoons. Remember the water that we filter, this is the water of the mussels, and you have to put it inside following the edge. You need to reach the level of the potatoes because the water of the mussels is never enough. You add enough water directly from the tap in order to reach the potato level. Now it's completely finished. It will go in the oven more or less for 1 hour. It depends on your own oven. I will say in Celsius, first 20 minutes to 250 degrees, and then for 40 minutes you put the temperature down to 100, and then we'll see the final result. And after 1 hour and 15 minutes time, it is ready. Look. Oh, che meraviglia. It smells delicious. My grandfather used to say, now si deve azzettare, need to sit, okay? So you cannot eat it now. Let's wait 1-2 hours and it's gonna be perfect. I know I told you to wait a couple of hours, however, the smell is so good. And I think that after half hour resting, it is good, it is ready. I'm gonna try. Starting from the mussel. Che meraviglia. Guys, I'm so proud about myself. It is a very typical dish. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you liked the video. See you next time.